Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of Dip Pen Calligraphy 101. Okay. Sorry for the very hard taps. I feel like my mouse has been uncooperative lately, so I'm trying to, for whatever reason, that mouses go out of whack. I've had this one for almost 5 years now, and longer than that. I've had it for almost 6 years, almost 6 years now. Anyway, alright, we're here to talk about, today we're going to be doing the capitals practice. One thing I wanted to mention before we start out is that if you start a little project and you find that it's not working out for you, that it's okay to just turn the page or do a little bit on that page and then just put it away. And sometimes I do full pages of practice, but then I have the backs of the paper, and I figure to myself, I could totally use the back of this paper, or even this bottom half of the paper. So keep your practice paper if you feel like you could possibly get some good out of it. Now see, this one's pretty used up, but there's still just this little bit of space at the bottom that might be useful. And so sometimes I will, sorry, that scared me. The wind blew my door shut. Sometimes you'll find just a little bit of practice on one side, or you might spill something, whatever the case may be, and you'll have a whole piece of paper that you can practice on. So my advice is keep your practice paper and use whatever you can to practice with. So today we're going to be using practice paper. Pre-used practice paper. So that way we can save not only the environment from being bogged down by paper, but we will be more functional with our knowledge. Okay? Alright, we're going to do some practice today of some capital letters. Alright, today we're going to be using the dip pen with Hunt 101 and Moon Palace Sumi ink. This is college ruled notebook paper. And when we do our A, we're going to start at one corner and we're going to go up at kind of a 70-degree angle, and then we're going to come down on the 55-degree angle. I lied. We're going to go up at a 45-degree angle, and we're going to come down at a 55-degree angle. So it's going to kind of look like this. We're going to do a reverse universal line of beauty. So it's going to kind of look like a little snake. And then we're going to come down on that 55 all the way to the baseline. And even if you just made a straight line from the baseline to the second ascender, and then you come down. Straight line up, full pressure down. Straight line up, full pressure down. Okay. The next little bit that we're gonna do, we're gonna drop down a line. We're gonna do this again, but we're gonna finish the A by doing a little loop. Okay. Up, down, loop, and through. So your loop should come from the baseline, touch the X height, and then touch the baseline again. So up, down, loop, and through. Okay? Alright. Then we're going to start getting fancy. We're going to go halfway through the X height. We start here, we're going to come down, touch the baseline, up to the top, down, up, around, and out. Okay. Zoom in just a little bit so you can see. There, now you should be able to see what's going on. Twist this sideways so you can see. There. Alright. Now the more pronounced of this little bit here will be the more kind of elegant that your A will look. You come up and over and then down, and then you do your little loop and through. Make your A's look very elegant. And if you even put like a little peak over here, then it'll make it look fancy. Okay, let's drop 2 down. Let's do a B. So a B is a universal line of beauty with a reverse oval and another reverse oval. Universal line of beauty, reverse oval, reverse oval. So, go you should only be pushing down from about there to there, and about from there to there, and about from there to there. So it's just a little bloop, 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 and from there to there. Extremely exaggerated bit, but And you shouldn't be doing these very fast. You should be doing them very slowly. Sorry, I'm having difficulties. Okay. Universal line of beauty. Press release. Touch the top line. Down, press release. A little bubble, press release. And in. It's kind of difficult to talk and do it. Press release. Press release. Press release. Press release. Okay, C. Drop 2 down. Mark off our X height. Come on. A C starts with a horizontal oval into a vertical oval. So, horizontal oval into a vertical oval. So we're going to start middle, around, up, and then down, and then into another vertical oval. So, start at the first ascender, press release, all the way around up, touch the second ascender, press release, press. Something like that. And if you can even dip just a little bit below the X height when you do your horizontal oval. But the lighter you do your strokes, the more elegant they will look. D, let's drop 2 down, we'll do the D. So the D is done in 2 strokes. There's the universal line of beauty. And then as we did the B, we're going to do a reverse oval, but we're going to make a big one. So we're going to go slightly below the middle of the X height, all the way up, come down, up, and connect. So, universal line of beauty. So you're going to make sure that you touch the baseline when you go all the way down. Make sure you touch the baseline and then make a little loop at the end. Okay. If you float above the baseline, it kind of looks weird. So try and make sure to go all the way to the baseline. So you're gonna press, release, press, release, press, release, and just the little tiniest press right at the end. Okay, let's drop 2 down. Let's mark off our X height. Let's do an E. So the E is a horizontal oval, just like the C. A little loop down to the X height. Horizontal oval into a spiral. So we're going to kind of spiral in, spiral out, spiral in. Horizontal oval, little loop, stop, pick up, push down, horizontal oval, loop, vertical oval, vertical oval, horizontal oval. Horizontal oval, loop, vertical oval, horizontal oval. And again, the finer your hairlines, the better. Okie dokie, there, we finished up a piece of paper. And you still have the back, so save this piece of paper for next time. Let's use up another piece of paper. I made a happy birthday message on this one, so we're just going to drop below that. We're going to continue on. Let's mark off our X height. This is a wide rolled notebook paper. So this is going to be like extra high. The F is a universal line of beauty, and a hat, a cross, and a down. Universal line of beauty, or a reverse oval into a hat, and a cross, and a down. This one's definitely a no because I'm off kilter. So you want to make sure that you do the universal line of beauty down the 55-degree angle, press, release, touch the baseline, reverse oval, a little wiggle, cross and down. Universal line of beauty, reverse oval, and a little wiggle, cross and down. Okay. The more simple your letters are, the easier they will be to practice. If you see that I'm manipulating my pen, it's because I'm snagging on the page. And if you are also snagging on the page, what you can do is you can stop where the snag is, rotate your pen counterclockwise or anti-clockwise to continue on doing the shade in a less resistant way. So See, I'm snagging right there. I lift my pen up like a micrometer, twist my pen, complete the stroke, cross and down. Alright, let's drop 2 down. Okay, I need to water this down because it's being cooperative. If you find that your ink is being too thick, you might add just a little bit of water in there to get it more flowing like. Okay. Alright, let's drop 2 down, mark off our X height. Let's do a G. G is like a C, but into a down horizontal oval, into a vertical oval, into a descending stem loop. Horizontal oval, into a vertical oval, into a descending stem loop, into an upstroke. So, horizontal oval, vertical oval, descending stem loop. And you want to make sure when you're going from thin to through a thick line, you almost never want to drag your nib through that ink, and I will show you why. So if we were to do this in one giant stroke, there's gonna be like a smush right here, and you can see it forming. Where the hell is my cursor? There we go. You could, GDSOB. I'm gonna frickin' break this thing, I swear. Okay, so you see right here where I didn't put the lines through each other. There's no like tail right here, but if you look here, there's like an hourglass. You can totally see that it's drugged through that line. So if you can get that line as close as possible before lifting, that's the goal right there. So you wanna get the line as close as possible, and then lift, and then complete of the stroke. Okay. Apologize for technical difficulties. My stupid phone is being uncooperative today. Okay. So, let's continue on. We're going to start middle of the first ascender, up to the second ascender, down to the X height, around, press, release, up, lift, press, release, and it might not look like it right away, but if you can remember to lift here, you'll have a better angle at going into whatever letter that your G is going into. So you might go into a R or an I or an M. whatever the case is. And one more for good luck. Okay. Alright, let's drop 2 down. Mark off our X height. We're going to do H. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. H is a compound curve into a universal line of beauty. Another hard downstroke, and a looping through, as I like to call it. So, see, we're having the same problem here that we were having here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go compound curve, down, down, and go up, stop just before the line, lift, continue the stroke, lift, and lift, and out. And what this kind of looks like is if you have a structure of a building, let's say, and you look at it sideways, the more fuzzier that it gets, that you see that there's like a little bit where it kind of looks like finger but kind of looks like paper. You kind of want it to look like that. The other way that you could do an H is an ornamental penmanship H, which has a horizontal oval into a stem, and then a leg, and a looping through. So, last way that you can do an H is you can do like a loop-de-loop. Do a downward loop and then an upward loop. Or you can even do a reverse oval into a reverse oval into a leg, into a leg, into a loop and through. Or you can do a quadruple loop. And whatever of these is you choose, try and do one whole line of those. Okay, let's drop one line down. And we'll do the I. The I starts from behind the letter. So here is our 55-degree line. And we're going to start behind the letter. We're going to come down, touch the baseline, touch the X height, come up to the second ascender, do a universal line of beauty down through that, and then tittle that leg. So like this. You can do a universal line of beauty first, and then come from the point down, press, release, and then up. But I think my way is prettier. This is how people do it traditionally. Okay, you could even do something like that. Ugh. Okay, so another way you can do an eye is doing the universal line of beauty, and then you come up into a loop and then down, and then you do like a little dollop on the back end of that, and you go way down to almost halfway of the X height. But this is my favorite way because it's done almost pretty much in one one stroke, but two strokes really. So one stroke, stop, lift, replace, universal line of beauty, down, dollop. Of course, you could do some other way, but whatever way that you decide to make your eyes, that's your own little, embellishment. Try and do a line of those. Okay, let's drop 2 down. J is kind of like the I. I'm going to, here is our 55. I'm going to come from behind the letter, and I'm going to come up. Universal line of beauty down. Descending stem loop. So and you never want to put 2 thick lines crossing each other. So you could also do a long long descending stem loop, come up, and like that. But again, I like to keep things simple, so again, the more thinner your lines are, the more beautiful they will look. And you can have a big bowl or a thin bowl. Or like a really wonky bowl. Whatever you decide. Some people come down, but then they do one of these little numbers to go into the next letter, which is pretty cool. And yeah. Pretty simple. Oh. And again, we're having the same issue that we had with the H. This is a blobby area. We want to make sure and not do that to this area here. So try not to cross too many things. You could even make it so that your lines don't touch the descending line, and then it'll look fancy. Okay, there, we've done a whole nother piece of paper. Okay. Let's use up another piece of scratch paper. Oh, that's my list for Inkorimo. I misplaced that. Alright, here we have another piece. Okay, let's do... What did we just do? JK. Alright, so we're going to start here. This is wide ruled notebook paper. The K is kind of the same as H. We're going to start with a compound curve into a downstroke with a little dollop. And then we're going to go about the same width as this little stroke here. We're going to come out about that far. About this is divided in fours. We're going to go about the same height as you started over here, and we're going to make a little dollop. We're going to go up to the second ascender, curve down, hit the backbone of the K, and then we're going to kind of do the same shape but down here. Okay. So we do compound curve, universal line of beauty, swipe in, swipe out, compound curve, universal line of beauty down, up, over, around, down, and then down and out into your next letter. Depending on what your next letter is will depend on how high you make this stroke. If you go into an O, you'll leave it about yay high. If you go into an R, you'll go all the way up to the X height. So on and so forth. And again, the thinner the better, so try not to use any pressure just for one or two of your practices. Just to see exactly how thin you can make your lines. Okay. Alright. And don't be afraid to go in and kind of, if you feel like they're not touching right here, you could just go in, just kind of fix it. And make sure that you don't do a whole big blob into the letter. You don't want to do the same thing that we had happen here with the H. Yeah, you don't want this to happen on any of your letters because it's just not cute. Not cute at all. Okay, we're going to drop 2 down and we're going to do the next letter, which is L. L starts at the top of your second ascender. We're going to come down to the X height, go back up to the second ascender, loop down, universal line of beauty, and then we're going to do a small loop and out. So, fidget spinners, you can't even see what I'm talking about. So, I don't know why this thing isn't focusing. Okay, so we're going to come down from the second ascender, back up to the second descender, loop down into a universal line of beauty, and then we're going to make this tail extra long, come up, over, around, and out. So just like that. So you're going to press release, and remember, the thinner the better. So make your thicks relatively thick and make your thin lines as thin as humanly possible. Okay. All right, there. Let's drop a couple down. We're going to go mark off our X height. We're going to do the M. The M is going to start at the baseline, and we're going to come all the way up to the second ascender, and then we're going to come down in a universal line of beauty, and then we're going to make a straight line up to the second ascender, and then we're going to make a giant underturn. So we could also do universal line of beauty, universal line of beauty, universal line of beauty, underturn. But this just looks like a bunch of thick lines, which is kind of ugly. So you want to start at your baseline and go in a gentle curving motion, and then we're going to kind of do like a reverse universal line of beauty, and then we're going to come down, a little bit of pressure let up, and then we're going to reverse universal line of beauty, and then we're going to little bit of pressure and then up. So up, a little bit of pressure, up, a little bit of pressure, up, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of pressure. Remember, the finer the better. Mark off our X height. The N is, we're going to go a loop up the reverse universal line of beauty. We're going to do a straight swelled stroke down to the baseline, and then we're going to follow the same angle. We're going to go up and curve out. So we're going to follow the reverse universal line of beauty up, straight swelled stroke down, universal line of beauty up. So I like to call it a J and a candy cane. We're going to J, we're going to reverse J, swell stroke, and then we're going to candy cane out. Now those are some pretty bad examples, but J, swell stroke down, and out. So you might notice that I'm making my universal line of beauty kind of super extended. And that's so that you can get a straight line going down, and then you're going to do the same thing, only reversed to go up. So we're going to go out, over, and up. This is a very extreme looking case, but yeah, it should just be something probably not like that. I need to practice that more. So I'm going to go 2 down. I'm going to try this again. So see? You might see it looks like a wiggle, but it's not quite a wiggle. Although, if you wanted to wiggle, you could do whatever you want, but it wouldn't be quote unquote how the masters did it. So I like to do a pretty severe wiggle and then out. I like to pretty much go straight up the line, do a wiggle down to the line, and then out, which looks fine to me. And if it looks fine to you, then whatever end that you like to do, just keep doing that end. Okay. Alright, that's enough of that shenanigans. Alright, the next one that we're going to practice is the O. The O is a horizontal oval into a vertical oval into a spiral. And we stop in the middle of the oops, wait a minute. We're going to start with a horizontal oval into a vertical oval into a spiral. So, horizontal oval, vertical oval, spiral. Basically, you're going to stop in the downward position. So, little press, release, little press, release, little press. Little press, release, little press, release, little press. The finer the better, remember. Okie dokie. I am going to try and get the rest of the ink off of this nib. And I'm going to rinse off my nib. You should always have a bowl of clean water next to your station, so that way you can wash your nib off. I'm going to empty my water and get some more water. And you should also have some paper towels, toilet paper handy for wiping off your nib once you clean it, because you don't want whatever the stuck on sumi ink I always shake mine in the trash can to get the water out of the grip. And then I make sure and I wrap up a piece of toilet paper and I wipe it down real good so that way I know that I'm not getting any crap in there, leaving any crap in there. Also, when you're wiping off your tools, you will be able to feel if there's any burrs in any way. That way you can maybe take some micro mesh to it. Oh, what did I do? Booped it with my head. Okay. Alright, we did another page. Let's move this. I have 5 more minutes of practice to do. And then we're gonna move on, and then I'm gonna go, and we will come back tomorrow with another couple of letters. So 4 more minutes. All right. So let's mark our X height. This is college roll paper. What letter we just did? Oh, so Q. So the Q. We're going to do the 2Q, which looks like this. Come from the middle of from the first ascender. So this would be the X height. First, let's see. First quarter, X height, first ascender, second ascender. So we're going to come at the first ascender down to the baseline. WTF. It's driving me crazy. I don't know if I touched it or... Every once in a great while, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take some rubbing alcohol. If you can't get the nib to properly come off your nib, put it on some toilet paper, paper towel, and then rub it off, because you might have gotten some oil or something on there that it doesn't like. And then hopefully by now it should be cooperating. No, it's not being cooperative. And every once in a great while you have to turn your nib upside down and put just a little bit of pressure. You'll know when it's too much. Because you don't want your tines to go like this, because then they'll be out of line. You just want them to barely be able to touch, and that will bring them back into sync. Also, if your ink is too thick, it won't come off the nib either. So you might have to add some water to your ink and swirl it around to get the particles moving. And then you should be able to have some more. What is your problem? Dunga were were. I don't know what its problem is. It's not being cooperative. Anyway. Well, I think that is all the time that I have for today tomorrow we will come back and we will continue this, hopefully with a more cooperative nib. Maybe I'll change the ink or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. That is all for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. And I will be back very soon with another video. So take care until then. Oh, good love you. Bye. Have a great day.